Honestly, I thought Barry was gonna brag about like I saw your ritual. I was trying to like help them or something, but I guess he's just like remaining silent about it, which is something. Let's see where we are. Only Kate and Rose. How many are still inside the ritual? Darren asked me. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be done with the next first stage where we pass on to the next one. I can't say that I'm looking forward to it. Darren says, "Why? Where is the god of time? Is he still watching us?" No, he went back to the magical plane. I say he'll come back again at the end of the ritual, according to Araka. Well, Darren and I were talking. Kate managed to get out of her trance as well. I'm amazed Kate did it first. I thought Rose will be doing it first. Kate managed to get out of trance as well, but the expression she has on now, she has on her face, is now painful to watch, leaving aside her strong feelings of sadness and regret that can only be seen at a first glance. I think it is the look of resignation from her eyes that really shows just how much the ritual has gotten to her. Realizing that she is no longer alone, Kate immediately changes the expression on her face to the one of only extreme fatigue as she asks the same question that Darren asked a few moments ago. Is everything else already done with their ritual? Kate says, and where is the god of time? And I thought he was supposed to oversee these trials until their very end. We're all done with the ritual except for Rose. Darren says the god of time apparently went back to the magical plane and only come back at the end. If that's true, then maybe we can make some plan against him, Kate says. Maybe we can find a way to sabotage his ritual while he's not here to keep an eye on us. We can't sabotage the ritual, Melinda says. Aiden has tried and failed in the past. If we couldn't do it, how could we? Aiden isn't all-knowing, Terence says. Just because he failed doesn't mean that we won't succeed. Oh, Melinda says. Then how do you propose to start this sabotage? We'll figure something out, Darren says, if you say so. Melinda says. Darren and Melinda don't get to continue the discussion because Rose has only just finished her ritual as well. Her eyes are no longer shining with light. When we take a look at her, however, we see that she is still staring right in front of her without taking notice of us, except for that instead of a blank stare on her face, like before, she looks completely horrified. Rose, Darren says, looking very worried. Are you alright? Rose gives no sign of having heard him. She keeps staring in front of her without saying a word. I don't know why in my mind I just pictured like Barry goes up to her, like grabs her by the cheeks and looks her dead in the eyes and repeats the same thing that she said to the slave. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Like it would be horrible, but it would be hilarious as well. I don't know why that my mind just popped up. I am exactly what Aiden hates. Um, Rose, listen to me, I say as I place myself in front of Araka. Showed me a ritual. I know that it's going to be hard, but you'll need to. It's not enough, Rose says all of a sudden as she continues to look in front of her. What? I ask her confused. Barry, it's not enough, Rose says as she finally looks me in the eyes. Nothing that I've been doing for in my life has been anywhere near enough. I can't just keep hiding behind my powerlessness anymore. I can't keep living this like this. I need to do more. What do you mean? I said. Do more for whom? The slaves? Not only for the slaves, Rose says, but for everyone that I've been ignoring in my life, thinking that I couldn't make a difference. I can't close my eyes to the suffering anymore. I need to help them all. Rose, help them all. Rose. Darren says, that's very noble of you, but you need to understand you can't help people just through goodwill alone. You've already been doing more than enough just by collecting herbs and curing the sick people of Thelius. You can't just blame yourself for the things that would be impossible for you to do. Nobody is expecting you to go on a quest to right the world's wrongs. You are not even a mage. You have no power to change the world in a more meaningful way than you already have been doing. Don't I? Rose says. Then what about this frozen world all around us? Was this not my doing? It's only happened because of the prophets, Darren says. You know very well that you never had any control over. Before Darren gets to finish what he was saying, Rose disappears from where she stands and reappears about a dozen feet away from her original position with a victorious smile on her face. It does not have bad, herbalist girl, Melinda says, with an impressed smile. Not half bad. Rose, that was incredible, Kate says as her fatigue expression disappears from her face. How did you do it? I don't know, Rose says. I feel different, as if my head is being constantly flooded with information that I can barely process. But I still can't use all of my time powers, but everything feels so much more natural to me right now. Ha, Haruka says, don't get your hopes too high up, herbalist. This is only happening because you're still linked to the Magium. Once you're all done with the prophecy, you'll forget all about how to use these powers and you'll become the same boring, powerless girl as before. If I will forget how to use my powers, then I'll just have to learn them all over again, Rose says with a very determined look in her eyes. I'll practice day in and night until I've been able to use them perfectly. I don't want to go back to the way I was. This time I want to make a real difference. That's good for her, good for her. Encourage Rose in her decision. Try to convince Rose that her plan is too dangerous. Tell Rose that her plan sounds stupid. That's a encourage Rose in her decision. That's a good decision. Supportive friend. What if a supportive lover if I had been on a date with her? Don't listen to Arka, I tell Rose. I'm sure you will be able to master your powers in no time with enough practice. Thank you, Barry, Rose says, smiling. I will try hard to make you all proud of me. I don't mean to interrupt or anything, Rose says, but didn't you guys say that you were going to try and sabotage the ritual? Because if that's what you're planning to do, then you might want to hurry up a little. You don't know how long it will be until the next stage begins. Do we have to wait for everyone to pass the first stage? That would be insanity. You're right, Darren says, and I think I might have an idea. Rose, could you try to unfreeze the time for the world around us by using your powers? It might just be enough to cancel the ritual. I don't know if I can, but I'll try, Rose says. She then closes her eyes and tries to concentrate as the rest of us fall completely silent in order to avoid distracting her. After a while, Rose disappears from her spot and she reappears several feet to the left of her original position, then disappears and reappears again a few more times in different places until Darren finally decides to break the silence. Rose, what are you doing? Darren says. I'm trying to figure out how this works, Rose says. I seem to be able to freeze you guys in time whenever I want. The spell doesn't break no matter how far I walk away from my original position. I can also unfreeze you at will, but no matter how many times I do it, the rest of the world still remains frozen. I don't understand. It's like the world around us was frozen in a completely different way than by using my powers. We're frozen with your powers, Melinda says, but since you didn't do it consciously, you have no control over it. The reason why time was frozen was so that you could deliver your prophecy. Don't you remember what happened after you were put into your trance? I do have some vague memories, Rose says. I think what happened was that that time got frozen for everyone in the world, including you, immediately after I was put inside my trance, and I walked all of the way here without stopping for several days. It was only when I reached this place that I finally unfroze the time for all of you so I could tell you the prophecy. So is Wraithia frozen or the entire planet frozen right now? And what does that even mean? Is the entire universe frozen right now? Because that is absurd. Because like if just the planet is frozen, wouldn't the gravity of the sun pull us in? Okay. Exactly, Melinda says. It's all part of how these prophecies work. The god of time may have found a way to sneak his own rituals in the middle. That doesn't mean that you can just use your powers to unfreeze time completely. Hold on a second there, Arka says. Rose, did you just say earlier that this was the first group you visited after you were put inside your trance? Yes, I'm sure of it. Rose says, why, is that odd? Arka laughs all of a sudden. So you're telling me that these chumps are the ones who are the most likely to influence the prophecy? That's it. Pack your bags, everyone. This continent is doomed. That is hilarious. What is she talking about? Darren asks Melinda as Araka is still laughing in the background. What would be the most likely to influence the prophecy? Are there others who will receive the same prophecy after us? Yes, Melinda says. You are only the first group to be visited by the Time Weaver. Once the god of time is done with this ritual, you will be frozen in time once more, and then the prophecy and the ritual will be repeated for other groups of people as well. Not only that, but this time prophecy will be delivered to you and the others at least 2 more times before what? Not only that, but this same prophecy will be delivered to you and the others at least 2 more times before the events prophesied will come to pass, in order to announce you if any progress has been made towards your goal of averting the disaster. The reason why Araka said that you were the most likely ones to influence the prophecy is because Time Weavers always visit their targets in order of priority, which means that your group may have the most decisive role in the events to come depending on your choices. Darren says, I'm not sure if I should be feeling reassured that we will be having a good chance of stopping the calamity, or worried that we'll likely be right in the middle of it when it happens. Either way, we shouldn't be thinking about that now. What we should be focusing on trying to interrupt the ritual. If Rose couldn't do it with her powers, then maybe it's time to make matters into our own hand. Hadra, come with me for a second. I want you to help me take a look around and see if you spot anything out of the ordinary. Alright, Hadra says, lead the way. Did you really walk all the way here without any rest? Rose says. Thavar says, as Rose worried. Darren and Hardrick are moving away from us. Aren't you tired? Don't you need to eat? No, I'm fine. For some reason, Rose says, I'm not hungry at all, and I'm not tired either. Actually, I feel just as well rested as I was before leaving my home. I wonder if it's because of the trance. Yeah, it's the trance, Arka says. You were basically put in a magical stasis for the duration of your walk, so that you wouldn't really need any rest, food, or water. If the god of time had intervened to pull you out of your trance prematurely, you probably wouldn't even have remembered that any of this happened. Oh, I see, Rose says. That explains it then. She pauses. Araka, Rose continues. You wouldn't happen to know if time weavers had other powers than freezing and reversing time, would you? So you want to practice, huh? Araka says. Well, I'm pretty sure that you should also have the ability to slow down time from your perspective. If you would look as if you were moving really fast, though, the advantage of slowing down time is that you can also interact with other people while doing it. I think you should also be able to unslow people from time in the same way that you can unfreeze them from time, as long as they are somewhere near you. But I'm not completely sure if that comes as a time weaver power or if it's just a really complex spell. Aside from these powers, I can't say I'm aware of any others. Thank you, Rose says. I can't seem to be able to reverse the time at all, but maybe I can find a way to use the time slowing spell you mentioned. Let me give it a try. Not long after this conversation with Araka, Rose begins to test her powers, while Kate and Flower are helping her with some indication. In the meantime, Darren and Haruka are apparently still walking around trying to see if they can find anything unusual that could help them spot a weakness in the ritual. As I'm looking around to see that everyone is doing, I suddenly realize that Layla hasn't participated in any of our discussions so far. She's barely even moved from her spot since the ritual started. At the moment, she's just looking at the ground while avoiding making eye contact with any of us.